Sergeant Stepdad here. I've just decided to review the bill that's going through Florida that people have dubbed Don't Say Gay Bill, which I've actually gone through it and it does not say that. But there's some things it does say that I figured I should bring out. Um, it's just bright. It is just a TV, but it's more of a parental rights and education bill. That's which, put it bluntly, is something that needs to be done. Is parents should have the right to know what's going on in their kids' education, stuff like that. I went through the bill and highlighted some parts I thought were important, and then I'm gonna say something I think needs to go back to that it seems like they got away from. All right, if everything goes correctly. Okay, this is the actual bill that they have in Florida, and you see, this is even first. It even says parental rights in education. Yeah. But it says requiring district school boards to adopt procedures that comport with certain provisions of law for notifying a student's parents of specified information, requiring such procedures to reinforce the fundamental rights of parents to make decisions regarding the upbringing and control of their children in a specified manner, prohibiting the procedures from prohibiting a parent from accessing certain records. So, this is helping making it so the parents can see what the schools are teaching and allowing the parents to actually access the records and making sure things that should be being taught are taught. I'm not a fan of critical race theory. I'll admit that. And if a teacher's teaching kids that this person's better than this person just because of some reason, or this person needs to be treated differently because of this person's race, religion, sexual orientation, all that, that should not be taught in schools. Right? And this is only like 7 pages long. But yeah, it goes on to address some more stuff here. But now this is something that interests me. Require school districts to notify parents of health care services and provide parents the opportunity to consent or decline for such services, providing that specified parental consent does not waive certain parental rights. Requiring school districts to provide parents with certain questionnaires or health screening forms and obtain parental permission before administering such questionnaires and forms, requiring school districts to adopt certain procedures for resolving specified parental concerns, requiring resolution within a specified time frame. This, I'm going to probably put it this way, is my understanding, and maybe someone who may understand this a little more, or even the person who wrote this could it ever explain it. But my understanding is like making like the nurse is allowed to do so much at the school when it comes to the children's health. So, but like if they want to have information on whether a student takes any special medication that needs to be strictly controlled to make sure no other students get a hold of it, and it gets placed in the nurse's office, so the student would have to go to the nurse to get it. It'd be administered by the nurse for the child. That does happen. I mean, I've been in a nurse's office when I was younger, and a kid needed, oh, I need my medication. Nurse gives it to them. And mainly the nurse's job is minor minor energies like minor scrapes, headaches, not feeling well. Just maybe it's your tummy having a couple hour bug or something. But then the schools would be contact with something major where the student needs to actually go to the hospital for something, which then they would contact the parents to make sure, hey, is alright if our teachers take them, and you can meet us there, kind of stuff. Is what I'm getting out of that part. If the parent says no, I'll come in and take them, that be like a decline. Because if the parent says no, don't take them at all, and we're not going to take them, and it's something major, then the parent would be at fault, and the school can actually go, okay, we're taking your kid anyways, to the hospital to get this serious injury or illness taken care of. It's not They're not saying the parent has complete control of saying no, and the child could end up dying from these injuries or being severely ended up severely injured to the point where they could be disabled for the rest of their life. It, so that's a good. Now, I think this is part of where I think a lot of people get a little frustrated. But in accordance with the rights of parents enumerated in there another section, SS 1002.20 and 1014.04 adopt procedures for notifying a student's parent if there is a change in the student's services or monitoring related to the student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. The school's ability to provide a safe and supportive learning environment for the student. The procedures must reinforce the fundamental rights of parents to make decisions regarding the upbringing and control of their children by requiring school district personnel to encourage students to discuss issues relating to his or her well-being with his or her parent, or to facilitate discussion of the issue with the parent. Meaning, if there's an issue at the school causing the student not to be able to be there, be able to handle it, they're gonna try to find a way to work it with the parents and everything to get it to work. I mean, my children's school are helping with that. I mean, we had a little issue with our principal, but we've gotten it worked out. I mean, we kind of just, the school agreed to let us just have the kids come home and do their schoolwork online. But yeah, it's better mentally for them because one has anxiety being in large groups in a small room. The other one just kind of has a hard time dealing with being in the school building. But yeah, it's as long as it's trying to help get the student to continue its education, and I may be wrong on that, and I'll admit that. But as long as it seems to me just to just want to find ways to help the student to actually get their education. Now, this is the area where they're saying, probably getting that old "don't say gay" thing. Classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through third grade or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. So what it's saying is nothing sexual from kindergarten through third grade. So you can't just have a teacher going, "Oh, we're gonna teach you how teach about sexual identities, sexual orientations, even though your minds are really, you're not, your minds are not, the children's minds are not fully capable of understanding the whole thing. Um, and I'm trying to remember when it was that I actually had my sex ed class. I think it was around 7th or 8th grade when I had sex education, but because that was been New Year's. But teachers shouldn't be going into in my and this means teachers can't just talk about their personal preferences. It's saying that and it's not saying that if a student doesn't ask, they can't do it. It's saying that it cannot be taught. So, if a student asks a teacher about some of that, it can be done. But it'd probably be better because if it was just and I'm gonna put it this way, it would be if the teacher talked to it about it to that student, that is fine. But if it were to be talked about to the whole entire class, that'd be a little more almost into the instructional part because if it's just a one-on-one, it's more of a student to teacher conversation, not an instruction to the class. Or it's not saying the teachers can't address a student's concern or questions about it. It's saying it's not going to be an instruction between kindergarten and third grade, and it should be done at appropriate levels for the students. Now, you can teach it during like sex education. Okay, so that's fine. But I did not see anything not saying you can't say gay. It's just saying you can't instruct kindergarten through third grade, and it's got to be at the appropriate level. And it goes on more and more about each little experience and damages and stuff like that if something were to be violated. And there's the date that it'll actually take effect. But I'm gonna attach a link to this in the comment section. But what I think is, if you're gonna raise a kid to respect people, we should be bringing back the golden rule: treat other people as you want to be treated. So, if you treat someone with respect, no matter race, religion, sexual orientation, you treat them with respect, they should treat you with respect. If they treat you like garbage, then, in my opinion, you can treat them like garbage. Because it's pointless to try. Sometimes I should say, sometimes it's pointless to teach people to turn the other cheek when even turning the other cheek does not do anything. I mean, try it in the beginning. If it doesn't work, then you might as well treat them like they're treating you. I have a feeling that as long as we keep pushing stuff that that divides people, things like this bill are going to be coming out to help try to curb it from. And a lot of these people who are against this bill probably have not read it. I mean, it does not say it cannot be taught. a lot, like, but it's saying that it should be only done within a reasonable age group instead of trying to teach them from kindergarten all the way up. Well, I hope I've informed some people with this. I know I've got a little more information than I would have gotten through social media. So I will see you next time.